again to Box of
Box of
Topics,
topics.
episode 4.
Hey, four.
As we
Woo.
know, we call it Box of Topics because you never know what you're gonna get.
Exactly.
Oh boy! So I was just talking about this, and I know usually it's always kind of start with like a lighter thing, but one of the things that just would not leave me alone. I was just stuck thinking about this. Okay, whenever you're like in school, right, and they be like, "Hey, it's Black History Month. Time to share some stuff that happened in the past." And it's like, okay. Usually it'd be like, oh, somebody write a report on Rosa Parks, somebody Martin Luther King, another person Malcolm X. It's always those three. You know,
The hot three.
yeah, the hot three.
Actually, I think it's the hot eight. It's
There's
like
also
Frederick Douglass,
Frederick Douglass.
George Washington
Yeah,
Carver.
pretty
Um,
sure Gandhi's also put into the.
no, not Black history, but
No, it's weird because like I've seen people like actually write reports on Gandhi during that time. It's so odd. Like
Mother Teresa, Gandhi, and wait, who's the other person of peace? Oh, Martin Luther King.
yeah, I already said
Yeah,
King.
that's
Well, King
peaceful
and King
people.
Jr. usually.
Okay.
Yeah, because people write about both. So,
Hmm.
but along with that fun little trilogy of individuals, you also get the moments, the really odd moments, and the awkward moments for the lighter tone children. Whenever the teacher goes, "Hey, I'm about to put on a movie about racism," and it's like, "Oh no." I feel like that's like a very I feel like that time needs to be like talked about more or more prepared. So it's like, hey, just letting everyone know this all happened in the past as a readaptation. It's not as it's bad in the movie, but not as bad as it was in history. And on top of that, please try to not be upset with your, you know, lighter friends. Cause me, right? There was one time I was in school, and my teacher turned on the movie Roots and immediately left out the class. And I was like, I wonder where he's going. What's this all about? And upon watching it, I had this one friend of mine named Omar. I had two friends named Omar. I had one Omar and then White Omar. Don't know why that was the way we categorized them, but hey, whatever. The taller Omar, after watching that movie, I couldn't bring myself to talk to him. It's like I know he had nothing to do with the movie or the people in it, but it's just I don't know, felt like my ancestors was just like, don't do it. And I was like, okay. Even though it would have not been his fault, I would have just why? You know what you did, and would have kept moving. Like but man, with that being said, there's always the two different emotions I feel from watching things like that. I either feel immense anger because it's like, how my people getting harmed. Oh no. Or I feel absolute confusion because some of the times the stories feel a little odd. I don't know if anyone else has that.
Well, with that content dealing with racism, slavery, all that kind of stuff in the past. I mean, now, um, I don't think it's a secret that you're in an interracial relationship. Would you have that type of content in your home? Would you show that like to your children or anything like that?
Okay, so there are multiple ways I'd go about that, right? Um, yeah, there'd be tons of like serious talks about it, like, hey, this stuff happened, but hey, look at where we are now. Speaking of people like Martin Luther King, this is the dream he wanted. Like this is what he wanted to happen for us all to intermingle and come together as a whole unit. That's cool. But on top of that, given the nature of who I am as a person, how I've grown up, eh, I don't know, there may be some times I make like a bit of I guess a jab at it, if you will. I know, sounds wild, it sounds just good, but I don't know. It, it's a terrible segue, but I do have a sense of dark humor now, and that's frowned upon sometimes. But in all honesty, it's a fun way to laugh about things that normally you wouldn't laugh about or people wouldn't think you'd be able to. But it does help. It does, and given me having a interracial relationship, the amount of jokes that will come from that, the amount of jokes that's already come from that, absolutely hilarious. Some of the best things I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, well, I think our whole family, our sense of humor is a lot dark. I think our whole
Way too much
family,
for YouTube, I'll tell you that.
yeah, I think it's definitely dark. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was just wondering, how would that be in your home? I know if I was in a interracial relationship, I don't think I would just even have the content in the house because
It could
I
spark up
think,
confusion.
yeah, and not even confusion, but if it sparks negativity in me, then I don't want, because sometimes without you even trying or without your knowledge, you you take stuff out on other people,
Mm.
you know. Now I know I don't do that because if I'm in a bad mood or whatever, I've always done that. Even when y'all were little, I just be like, nah, just go and let me, I tell y'all stay away from me because even that bad energy, I don't even want to touch y'all because I don't want to
You
transfer
transfer
it,
that.
right? So yeah, I would just be like, I think if I was, like I said, in an interracial relationship, I probably wouldn't even just dabble in it, not even um have the temptation, or of even bringing it to, where it could be an issue, just in case. Because, we are human, and, you think that you could be strong or whatever, but you never know until you're actually
Until it's the
in the,
moment. Yeah.
yeah. So, I don't think I even want to put it to the
Not even
test.
chance it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to put it to the test. I just leave that alone. I mean, I know what happened. We've been taught from the time I was little all the way up,
Mm.
and it's like, yeah, I think I just leave it behind me.
Yeah.
And anything that could be a nerve or hit a nerve or be a topic that could bring animosity, I would just leave it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which with me, I can definitely say even with that little story, even at that moment, I even knew like there was a chance I would have been like something, eh. But nine times out of ten, I already knew I wouldn't. But and that was back when I was in high school, a lot less mature, a lot more because I promise you, when you're in school versus when you're an adult, for most people, your whole emotions, like you don't have your emotions under wrap as well as you do when you're older. Again, for most people, some people it somehow gets worse. I don't know how, but it does. But
I got
yeah.
a good one for you today.
What was that?
People who use quote unquote drunk for an excuse for bad behavior.
So being under the influence, trying to
Yes,
blame
being
it on
under
the
the
alcohol.
influence. Not only just alcohol, but anything. It's like, what do you think about that?
Now, for me personally, I can't speak for everyone because I'm not everyone. I'm only singular person. Sometimes based on people's perception, multiple, but for the most part, one person. And I've been me, no matter what I'm on. I've never tried any explicit, really dangerous stuff. I'm never gonna, because I don't feel like
Or illegal?
or illegal. No, 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 no. Stay within my lane of legal and safe products, especially around other trusted individuals. So I've tried Mary Jane and alcohols, and it never really changes me per se. It I know I was more open, and I'd say the first thing that came to my mind sometimes, and then whenever I get enough liquid bread, I'd be a lot more of a happy individual. Like it boosts how I am already, which I'm goofy, I'm happy. So of course it boosts that. But for the most part, I don't know. I don't change who I am as a person. I never lash out or anything. Some people they do have a whole 180 flip or but for me, I remain unchanged. I wouldn't even know.
I think people. The only thing that I have to call cap on it. That's what you say. Call cap. Is that's the
Yeah.
phrase you use? You call cap. I'm gonna have to call cap. And the only reason why I say that is because every time somebody say I was drunk, it's they always did something bad. Now, if you was like, oh well, I got so drunk, I made a mistake and paid up all my child support, or I accidentally paid up, my utility bill or something like that, then I'd be like, okay. But this always they doing something that you know you're not supposed to do. And they're like, oh, but I was drunk. No, no. I think like I said, I'm gonna stick with
You
that
call
one.
him
I
cat.
call cap on that. Yep. Because it's
Understandable.
always something, crazy that, and it's just stuff that you was gonna do, but you use the drunk as your get out of
Get out
jail
jail
free
free
card.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, nope. Mm-mm.
No, I can say for some, I do feel like things that aren't supposed to be part of your body will like okay, perfect example. Like well water's supposed to be there. It keeps you hydrated, keeps you, regular, all that. And I feel like water will also help you with whatever good thoughts you're thinking. Like, you're like, oh, I could get up today, but I ain't got the energy. Drink some water. You're like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go ahead and get this day started. You know, that's kind of how I was. I was tired. I had something to drink, and I was like, all right, podcast. So that's how that was. But I feel like with certain things that aren't, because it's poison at the end of the day. Everyone knows that, right? Even if you are using it to
In
whatever in
moderation.
moderation or
Yeah.
whatever reason, but it's still poison. And I feel like that poison clouds your judgment and enhances whatever intrusive thoughts you have. That's what I think. Because usually people will have those thoughts and go, nah, I wouldn't do that. But it's like them Slim Jim ads or no, not Slim Jim, Jacqueline Beef Jerky ads, where they be knowing what they're about to do is a stupid idea, but then they take one bite and go, check this out, and start messing with a Sasquatch. Like you wouldn't do that normally, but once you get a few Jaegers in your system, now you're like, hey, watch this. This might be funny. So
But I
yeah,
think too that's also TV teaching society what to do, because
that
every movie that I've ever seen, they get drunk and they do a whole bunch of crazy stuff, and then but people don't separate. That's entertainment, not real life, and people don't separate. They don't understand. Like no, oh, I used to go the people who I was so drunk that I did this and I was so drunk that I'll be like, I think they feels like it enhances their life and their stories. Like, and I think that's the only reason why people do it.
yeah. I mean like there probably are some people who did do a whole bunch of man, I got hammered so hard. My friend apparently got a video of me uh riding a bull all the way from Chicago
Oh, and that's
to
something
Texas.
else. People that well, go ahead, because you just brought up a thing. I hate when people. That's our new thing now. The videoing instead of helping.
Uh yeah.
Yep. But go ahead. We was talking about the being drunk.
Although I will say there have been like I okay. On one hand I can understand taking a video as evidence. So it's like they won't believe me otherwise. As long as you're making sure someone else is helping, or like you've at least helped them first, and you just evidence, because you're not gonna believe me.
What I okay, so I saw a video and this disturbed me to my soul. There was a guy being attacked. in the subway, and the person was using a knife in this attack. And there was about 8 people standing around videotaping. Nobody assisting, yelling like, "Hey, leave him alone," nothing like that. Just videotaping. And it's like, okay, I know you want to have evidence of a crime. I get that, but nobody helped at all. Like, wow. And then that's what we getting to be to. If you're in danger, and people used to come to your rescue, now they just videotape your assault. They don't nobody.
That's why, uh, yeah, everyone trying to be an influencer, everyone trying to get the next big story. Like, it's not it's not like the New York Times anymore. Like, you can just walk in with a big story and be Peter Parker, Spider Man. Here's
Mhm.
10 million.
Yeah.
No, no. If anything, you'll submit the video. They go cool, and then that goes to someone else entirely. Like, you're not gonna get any
Well,
unless you somehow.
I mean,
I mean, for
you people,
some,
you get more followers, and the more followers you get, the more other stuff that comes along with it, and
yeah, but
everybody is chasing that. I think chasing that dream.
which is cool. But I'd rather not chase my dream on the backs of the suffering of others. Like,
Oh, definitely not
no,
that.
because right now, no one's getting hurt, no one's suffering. I'm talking in front of a camera. Hi. And then it's like, yeah, I'm not.
But see, that's different people, because some people, I mean, that's what they do. They look for bad stuff to exploit it. And hey, I mean, if everybody would have morals, this would be a whole different planet. But
Well, yeah, most
yeah,
of the
nobody.
topics we have wouldn't even be topics.
Right.
Hey, what if? Hey,
Okay.
be bear with me here. What if there was plastic in the water? Come on, stop it. Never.
Uh, okay. So, what can make you feel better after having a bad day?
Ooh. Um. I, honestly, for me, it does depend on how bad the day is. But for the most part, with all the different bad days I've had, and I've had a few. I mean, like the day would just start and it's already bad. Like,
Again, first thing you get out of
you
bed, stub
know,
your toe or something like that.
or it's just so bad. You walk in school with your hood on and everything, listening to straight rock music, all that. But for me, I always enjoy just having someone in my corner talking to me, or if I'm not feeling well, a nice little hug. That usually always helps me. And then I don't know, probably some kind of like biscuits or something.
Mm-mm-mm.
I like Pillsbury Doughboy. But yeah, for the most part, like, yeah, I enjoy talking, hugs, all types of friendly activity like that.
Yeah, for me, it's like you said, it depends on how bad the day is.
Mm,
I've had days that were so bad, I'll be like, nope, we need the reset button. I just
yeah.
get back in the bed and
Just
pull the
like,
covers
this
up.
ain't it.
Yeah,
Go
I just
back to
like,
sleep. Like,
yeah,
nah.
I just hit the reset button on this one, because this was just terrible. And it's like I feel like, and it just be one thing after another, and it'd be like if I continue, it's just gonna be more bad. So it's like, nope, I'm hitting the reset button. And then for the days where I can't hit the reset button and I have to continue, and stuff just still keeps piling on. For me, music is it.
Oh, yeah. Some
Oh,
nice
I
music.
live for music.
Hmm.
And music, I believe it was created just for me. I know it hasn't been, but I just like to think of it like, yes, they
That's my
made
own
this
personal
song. Yeah, they
headcanon.
they made that song for me. You ever hear a song
Oh,
where it's just
yeah.
right
It just
on point?
fits with your soul.
Yes, everything that you're
Yes.
going through at the moment, and it just picks you up and puts you in their arms and just carry you, because you can't even do it for yourself.
Hmm.
I've had songs like that, and it just be like, oh, see, they made that
It's like, oh
song
my
for
God,
me.
someone understand?
Yes, they know my pain. They understand what I'm going through. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's songs like that that do it for me. And I mean, they really do just turn everything around. Like, especially when I'm going through it. And it's
Mhm.
like, oh, thank you. For all the musical artists out there that's making music, I applaud you.
Oh,
I
most
greatly appreciate
definitely.
you because it's been some songs out there that's really just turned everything around for me.
Oh my God. Yeah, and then I be telling people like there be those days I walk into school and I'm like, you know what? I never have that day where I be like, oh yeah, I'm, I'm about to cause a ruckus in school. No. Usually it's always the one person who's upsetting me, and that one person is about to get fought. But there be them times where music starts playing. I'm like, you know what? Now I don't have to fight nobody.
Woosah.
You know.
Yes. I know and in wine too for me. Arbor Mist have saved many of lives. So shout out to Arbor Mist because I swear I be on forget 10, I'm on 20.
you know.
Woo! And I get me a couple of glasses of wine. I'll be like, you know what?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Woosah.
Right,
They'll
right.
they'll change tomorrow.
Right.
You know, that's I be hearing so many really nice songs and everything that'll change my viewpoints and everything. Like perfect example. I was hanging out at my girlfriend's place. I was having a nice time. She fell asleep. Really adorable lady, and I didn't know where the remote was, so I was just stuck watching movies because I couldn't fall asleep. And while watching uh, Pitch Perfect 2, I'm going into this like I don't, I never, I after a certain amount of time, I just stopped liking Christmas. I don't know, it just wasn't for me. I'm more of an fall, autumn, Halloween kid, anyways. But Christmas, and
Oh, where they did the Christmas song with Snoop Dogg.
yeah,
It was
oh
dope.
my God. Second I heard that, I was like, you know what? The holidays actually not that bad. Why are you Christmas? That's
Yeah.
only a week away. Oh, about to start hanging up stockings right then and there. So yeah, that holiday song with Snoop. Oh my God,
I have to say,
it
I
was
like
good.
all the songs in all the Pitch Perfect movies.
Yeah,
I just
they
adore
have
them
some really
all.
nice songs.
They was all nice. So, do you have a celebrity crush?
No, no, I know a lot of people do, but for me, I have celebrities that I absolutely love, or the ones I respect, and even ones where it's like, oh, I'd love to meet that person one day. So there are those, but
Oh, I don't know about meeting celebrities. I don't know.
because I know they say never meet your heroes, but it depends on your hero. Like a lot of the like perfect example, I went to one of those little fun events like Comic Con, but this one was for anime, so it was YumaCon. I went to that uh, earlier last year. Yeah, last year. And while I was there, I met a bunch of voice actors that voiced different video game characters, anime characters, and they were all really nice. And sure, they probably was like on their better behavior, all that. Maybe they, man, I hate kids. But like my experience with them, it was so genuine. It was so nice. I really enjoyed my time hanging out with them. And I was like, wow, I want to be in this seat one day. And the vocal range they had, it was so cool, it was so impressive. Because of them, now I do voice impressions. I have a lot of voice impressions. Like, oh my God. Shoot, if I list off all the voice impressions I have, it'll take me a second. But yeah.
I had a moment, and I used to work at Feathers.
Mm.
Anybody that live in Detroit, you probably remember
What's
that.
feathers?
It's a nightclub that used to exist.
Oh!
It's no longer in existence anymore. I used to waitress at that club. It was a big place, beautiful club. Anyway, so Jesse Jackson Jr. was running for a position, and they was having one of the events at the club. And so they were all coming in. I got to work that day, and we were like standing in a like a reception line, where you had
Mm,
the two lines of people, and then the people walk down. And so we were expecting Jesse Jackson because his son was there. And then
yeah.
so it was the staff, it was also some staff upstairs too. And like I was the lead waitress. And so when Jesse came in, I look and he's got Aretha Franklin with him. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm pointing like, hey, Aretha, I'm telling my people, yeah, Aretha is here, Aretha Franklin.
Oh, come
So
on,
then Jesse sees me pointing and he sticks his hand out to shake it. And I wanted to so bad, like smack his hand, like, no,
but you
her,
her.
right. And I was like, yeah, I didn't want to be rude. So I went on, shook his hand. But she made eye contact with me. And for some reason, I'm taller than her. But for
But you
some
feel like she
reason,
was taller
she
than
seemed like she was like, yeah, like
she
she
was
was
so
like,
much bigger.
yeah, and like floating past, and like, and she made eye contact with me. And when I tell you, I was like, oh my God, Aretha Franklin, look at me. What? I never understood groupies. I would see them on TV, and I'd
Like,
be like,
oh my God. And they be
right,
fainting,
and
but
fainting and screaming. I'm just like, what the
what
heck
are
is
you?
wrong with
Yeah.
you? What are you going through? So, and I wasn't even young at this time. Now I'm in my. Let me see. I was pregnant with your sister,
Mm,
so I was in my. I was in my late 20s.
mm.
So I wasn't like no young, girl. But when I tell you, she looked at me and I
Lost it.
lost my mind. I felt it like, oh, I'm about to catch me.
Someone help.
No, I was like, oh my God. Then I understood the groupie thing.
And I will say, for me, when I met those voice actors and voice actors, because I knew what characters they played, I was like, oh my God, this meet the character face to face. Oh my God. And then sometimes they'd even do the impressions. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God, it's you.
But I had to hold it in
Yeah.
because I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But in reality, oh my God.
Yeah, in your head.
Yeah, but there's like, I know there's like one voice actor where I know if I meet him, that's it. I'm not gonna be able to, because
Contain it.
all the other ones I was able to. Oh yeah, that's really nice. I met the lady who voices the character Kale from Dragon Ball Super. I met the dude who voices Torbjorn from Overwatch. All these different fun people. If I ever meet Keith David, that's it. I'm about to.
Oh, the actor,
Yeah.
Yeah, you do say you love his
I
voice.
love it. His whole
Yes.
performance is awesome. He voiced so many real cool characters like Spawn. He was in Future Man. I'm like, oh my God. And he seems so friendly, so cool. So it's like,
It's not a crush, it's your admiration.
it's like,
Okay.
that's the man I want to be. Oh my God. So it's like, if I ever meet him face to face, hello there. Man.
Well, I know my celebrity crush. It used to be Ice Cube. And I got a thing for tall men, and he's shorter than me, and I would not have cared.
That's one of
Not
those screwed.
one iota of a cent. But yeah, but now I can tell you, and I love Ice Cube for years. I mean, just hearing his voice when he rapped, when he talked, everything, it was just like
His performances are really good too.
Oh yeah. And then Jason Momoa came on the scene, and yes, and then I love Jason Momoa, but I also love Chris Pratt, and
That's funny.
I love him. And even when before he got the muscles and stuff, when oh my God, he gained the weight. I did not care. I loved him. I still love him. I love Chris Pratt and Jason Momoa. Now I'll never meet either. I'm sure. Not my whole entire lifetime. I'll never meet either. But no, I'll never meet them. But the love is there. I swear. I would be so thrilled if I would, you know what? Even if I never met them in person, let's just say if my recipes, you know how I do the recipes and how I cook and all this other stuff. So let's just say I put a recipe out and it becomes, like gets a lot of attention, popular.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I see them saying, "Hey, I tried your recipe, Jay," that's close enough. I would be like, "Yes! Oh my God, Jason Momoa eating. Oh, catch me!"
Because that's how it was when I was at the event. Because one of the ladies who one of my friends, because he really wanted to meet this lady, right? But he couldn't because he lives really far off. So he called me and was like, "Hey, could you have me, talk to the lady or whatever?" And I was like,
Mhm.
"Sure,
Sure.
I got you," you know. And his birthday was rolling around, so I was like, it's a birthday gift to him. And she was like, "Oh, well, if it's a birthday gift, because usually it costs money to like have them say a line of one of their characters or
Do a
whatever.
cameo.
You
I think
know,
that's what they call them, right?
no, just doing a voice line of one of their characters because they voice so many. So it's like if it was the voice actor of like Elmo, and like, "Son, could you say one of your lines of Elmo? Which one?" You ask them to say a line name. It's just, "Welcome to Elmo's World," something like that. That would cost because they get paid to do that regardless. And she was really cool, really nice about it. She was like, "Well, if it's for your friend, he's far off, and it's a birthday gift, don't worry about it." And I was like, "Sure, oh my God, you're so nice." And when she said whatever, like the voice line that he wanted her to say, I could hear him because he usually has a very monotone kind of voice, all the way down here, really chill. Second he heard it, "Oh my God, thank you so much." Like, I was like, "Oh," it was one of the most wholesome things I've ever experienced. And I also like wanted to meet the lady because not just for a friend of mine, because she voiced a character in the game called Genshin Impact, Eula, but she also voiced a different character that I knew because usually they'll have like all the characters they voice like behind them on the table, and as I'm walking up, I see one character like, "Wait, you voice her? You voice her? Oh shoot! I didn't know. My fault. I didn't know you knew ball like that. Like, oh my God." So I was like, "Man, you a legend." So yeah,
Well, that was up.
yeah. Even though I can't even think of the names of the people at the moment, which, oops, I'll definitely I'll try better to remember because I'm better at faces. I could definitely tell you exactly
Oh,
what they look like,
baby,
but
if I
names.
yeah, your face, I can remember your face to the end of days.
Mhm.
Names though,
Eh,
no. I'm lucky to remember my name
you know,
sometimes. It's
eh,
like,
shoot, I misspelled my own name
yeah,
quite a few times.
I'm not good with that.
Is there an A in my name or not? But yeah, much love to those individuals. They're definitely inspirations behind me trying to also do voice impression. Like as you heard, I can do Elmo, Mickey Mouse, a whole bunch of different anime
Yeah, you can do a
characters.
whole lot.
I can do Donald Trump.
Anyway,
That one's fun though.
it
That one's
is
fun to
fun.
do.
It's funny because you do it so well, and to hear that voice coming out of you,
I
because
know that because
you're so chocolate and he's so not. So it's like it's weird.
what people had chocolate covered oranges before.
Yeah, oh my god. Anyway, do you have a favorite food?
um, as of now, it is Mediterranean. I really love Mediterranean or Arabic
Oh,
food. Really
Greek,
love that.
Mediterranean, whatever they want to call it. And then you know what I found out? I like Arabic food too.
Yeah.
And I found out Arabic food and Mediterranean food is two different things.
Really? Excuse
Because
my ignorance.
well, not unless
Because
I
I mean,
don't
they
think
all
I
have different names: Greek, Mediterranean, and Arabic. So it should
well,
all
you
be.
know what? If it's all the same, somebody tell me. But I know I went to an Arabic restaurant and got something completely different than when I went to a so-called Greek Mediterranean. So, I mean, if they're the same thing, people just
Name
labeling
them
their
different.
restaurants different, then okay, clue me in. All I know is the food is good.
Hmm.
That's all I know. And I don't have, oh, baby, I love the grilled chicken. they make it different. It's different ways they make it. Man, I'm hiccuping. It's different ways they make it, but one thing I can say, the common denominator is it's good.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, it comes with different sauces and different type of sides and all that stuff, but the common denominator in it all is it is good. Um Delicious, the flavor. Oh
Mm.
my god. They do not hold back on the seasoning, and I love that.
Mm.
What you say? If you ain't sneezing, it ain't
If you ain't
season.
sneezing, it ain't season.
Word.
Yeah, that was something you taught me.
Well, I got that off of TikTok, so don't get I
What? I could have
forget.
sworn you.
I forget who says it all the time, and I love to give him his credit. But yeah, he says it all the time. If you ain't sneezing, it
It
ain't
ain't
season.
season.
That's one. And then the other one, the TikTok creator is we ain't here for a long time, but we here for a good time. No, what does it say? Yeah, we're not here for a long time, so let's have a good time. I'm
Oh.
probably saying it a little bit wrong, but if you know him, then you know what I mean.
Mm.
Yeah, you got the gist. Cause I I love that. Every time he say it, I'll be like, say it, say it. I'll be
You
watching
know,
his
like
video.
he's gonna say the thing.
Right? Like, say the thing, say the thing. Yeah, so he's another cook on TikTok.
That's
Or
nice.
I'm sorry, not exclusively to TikTok. They are just online creators. There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Which
Which we're joining that club.
I know, like,
Online
oh my god.
content.
And then, I will say, one of the things that always inspire me about those kinds of people is that, because I know how they make me feel, but it's always nice to know that they be receiving like fan mail and all types of stuff like that. And of course, I'm not in it for the family. It's just the simple fact that they are able to help so many people, so well, whether it be music, voice acting, whatever, commentary, funny jokes, video gaming, all types of stuff, and I do appreciate that.
So you saying you like when people spread the positivity,
Yeah,
good vibes.
yeah.
Yeah, I can say that too. I know sometimes when I'm passionate about something, I can get heated about things, which my heated areas is, oh, definitely leave the kids alone and leave the elderly alone, please and thank you. I hate to see anybody be victimized, anything like that. I try to be a superhero for the weak and the meek. But yeah, that's just my hot spots. And anytime somebody bring that up, I will get heated about it. But yeah, positivity in the world, it's never it can never be too much.
No, yeah,
It's
no
never
such
too
thing
much.
as
It's
yeah.
not, you can put so much. And yeah, I feel that.
Mm,
Just add the positivity, you know? Like your brother say all the time, be the change you want to see.
yeah,
Don't wait for it.
yeah.
Be the change you want to see. That's why I say I have a lot of hope for this generation, because I see all the positivity that my children and y'all's friends and everybody that y'all associated with. I see all the positivity that y'all are trying to put out there, which gives me hope.
Mm,
Because I tell you, the stuff from the past, it just
mm.
it can break your heart. Like, good Lord.
But the crazy part is the fact that we don't let it. That's the like, ooh. And
Oh,
I
don't let it crush you.
oh yeah, no, no,
Okay.
yeah, no, because it's like, I mean, there's nothing like, once something's in the past, it's not really much you can do about it unless you got a time machine. If so, do tell. I'm just, how did you make it? Was it out of paper clips? I'm just asking for a friend. It's just like one little small thing I'd like to go back and anywho. But also I will say there are things I get passionate about. Some things I can't get heated about, but I do enjoy whenever people are passionate about something. Not like you don't even necessarily need to be heated. It's just because I know you care and you'll continuously like debate or agree, or add in a lot with it, which makes for a very good conversation. Like, I know the other day, was it the other day? No, I think it was. No, it was the other day. Okay, couldn't have been earlier this morning. I was asleep. So the other day, me and like two of my other friends, we was having a whole conversation about the the work workarounds and the linguistics about a certain mechanic in an anime. And we were like, how does it work? Why does it work this way? Are you sure it can't work the other way? I mean, given the evidence that we know, and we pull from all different sources, and I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it made sense.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's when you have, if you spark people to debate or have a conversation about your product, then you've produced something really good.
Hmm.
That's just yeah. That's you've done a good job. I hey what's your dream job?
Well, um, I can't say that I had a lot of different dream jobs and a lot of different dreams in general. I'm living one of them right now. You know, I wanted to do a podcast for the longest, and another thing that I'm very much looking forward to is a Q and A. I love to do a Q and A. Those are always fun. Um, but amongst that, the three different dream jobs I know I have right now is animation, video game design, or voice acting. And all three of those things I feel like can easily like manifest into the other one. Like they go hand in hand very well. If none of those work out somehow, some way, rather through hard work or luck, then I can always just go, I enjoy helping people. I'm a good listener. I like to, see both sides of every kind of situation and try to find a better medium that helps everyone or the, the majority. Well, less of the majority, but the more favorable. And I could go to school and be a therapist. I feel like I could do that. Yeah.
I couldn't do therapy. I
I
could
feel like
I
because there's so much I've heard already and so much baggage people tend to tell me. After a minute, I'm like, okay, I've heard this before. Like, not everyone's problems is the same, of course, but we're all human. So 9 times out of 10, most of us experiencing something similar to each other, it's bound to happen. It's like not everyone's bullying situation is the same, but I get it. I had that too. Hold
mm,
on. I know what to do. You need a Pop Tart? I got you.
uh-uh. Yeah, the only reason why I couldn't do therapy because I'm like the broke man's therapist anyway. I am the one that it tends to be in my friend group. People come to me and talk to about anyway. So it's like, I think if I want to get something that I would immensely enjoy. Like this is great.
Oh
I
yeah,
swear to
this
God.
this is fun.
Being a creator, an online creator is amazing. It's really nice. I really yeah, so this one I like to go far with this.
Mm,
I know I always wish that I could be a high-low driver. I achieved that.
good on you.
That was, because it will always be, I always see a guy, and then I tend to be, I'm on the feminist side.
Mm.
I have a lot of feminist views. So it's like, anytime I see something where it's exclusively just men, I'll be like, no, I want to do that too.
You know,
Like when I was a young girl, and they tried to make me do take a sewing class, and I was like, no, I don't. My mother sewed, my father sewed, my brother sewed. I was like, I don't need that. I could learn that at home.
mm,
I don't need a class for that. I want to take shop. And but that was only they would only let boys do shop at that time. And I'll never forget, we had to have a meeting at the school. And I was the first girl that was ever allowed to take a shop class. And it was like, wow, they talk about Black history. I be I be like, wow, where's my plaque? You know, I bordered it. I made it possible for other girls to start taking shop at that school. It was Winterhalter Junior High School when I used to go, and I'll never forget. My mother, she had to have a meeting with the principal in order to get me into that class, and I was the first girl ever allowed in the shop class.
I feel like a lot of the other moments that you mentioned, I feel like it needs to be more publicized because that, along with the fact that when I was in school, I went to Oak Park, and they didn't have a lot of buses.
It had three.
They had like three of them, but there was a lot of kids. And I mean, if you go to any Oak Park schools, you'll know there's Einstein, Oak Park High School, uh, the Freshman Institute. There's the
It's a lot of schools.
yes,
Lot of schools.
middle school, elementary, all types of stuff. So there's not enough bus per children ratio. It's not enough. And at some point,
Now, the part that peeved me off is
mhm,
when I saw that bus take off with kids standing up.
yeah, the
And I was
kids
like, oh
had
no.
to stand up on the bus, whether you know voluntarily or not. And
No, it wasn't it was no choice. The bus would be so packed.
mhm,
And one, okay, it was multiple stops. They would usually be full by the time they got to y'all. They was packing the kids in like sardines. A lot of kids was being turned away because it wasn't enough space.
mm,
And yet they still only had these three buses. And it was well into school.
mhm,
Now, day one, okay, day two, but we going into like week two, week three. And I'm like, oh no, this is ridiculous.
so
So I told you to make a video, but you kept forgetting. So I rode along the bus beside the bus and videotaped it. And then I went home.
It sounds incredibly frustrating to deal with overcrowded school buses.
what in the
I don't know. My phone just decided she wanted to jump in there.
okay?
Okay.
You didn't even say serious.
I didn't press a button or anything. I'm telling you, these phones. So I'm gonna just tell the rest of this because I don't want you to leave out any part.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I take the video. I go back home. And not only is this a terrible thing that they doing, but it's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
So I go back home and I call the administration building and I'm like, are y'all aware of this situation? And they were like, no, we had no idea. Okay. So then I called, they was like, can you call transportation? Now, why I should call transportation in this situation? I don't know, but okay. So I called transportation and I had this lady who was the supervisor who thought she was a lot smarter than me and was slicker than me. And so she was telling me how the kids choose to stand up
And we
on the bus.
choose to.
They choose to stand up because they don't want to sit next to another kid or something like that. And I was like, uh-huh. Now I don't know about during your lifespan, but I do know when I used to get on the bus when I was a kid, there was no choices.
Yeah, no.
Not one single choice. I didn't get to choose who I sat next to. I didn't get a chance to choose whether I was in the front of the bus, back of the bus, none of that. I got on and they sit here. And that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So when she telling me all this, I'm like, okay. So then I called the news media, told them what was going on, gave them homegirl's number, the one who was trying to talk to me like I was um yeah, messy in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next morning, the very next morning, there were 12 buses out there coming to pick up kids.
It's funny too because like she was trying to give you some random excuse like we have to do a head count or whatever. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
look, ma'am, you're already 3 weeks in.
Yeah,
You
she
know
was like,
how
"Oh,
these
we
things
got to
go.
do a head count to see." I forgot about that part. I'm sorry. You pulled that back. They had to do a head count to see how many buses they was gonna need, and like it was a process. I'm
Like this
like,
ain't you ain't planning for a pizza party.
yeah. And then so after, and then it was funny too because she was out there, like monitoring. And some of the parents was like, "Oh my God, it's about time." And all that. I was like, "Yeah," because I called the news and I told on them. And she turned and looked at me, and I was like, "Hi, how you doing?"
You know, like now we meet face to face.
I know.
And that is crazy how people will just discard something, and it's usually always the simple, unless it's happening to them or their kid, which is so weird. Like, why do you need that to be a thing? Like, okay,
People
for
that don't
me,
have a problem with people suffering, they don't care.
like for me, I used to worry about every single person on the planet, but I had to stop doing that because that would just stress me out. But at the same time, I don't have the resources or anything to. I mean, this is about the range I can do. But for other people who have power, have resources, have money, can reach out, I don't get it. Because if I had that, type of stuff, I had an extra 18 million to just throw out the window. I can wipe my butt with money. Then, why not? Like, what else am I gonna do with it?
Well, the thing with that too, though, is that you do have some of the wealthy and the rich and all that try to do something for the community,
Which kudos
which
to you.
yeah, which they don't, which a lot of people don't understand. It's like when what I they add all these stipulations to it in order to get help, and that's when the breakdown becomes bad. All the top person sees is that, hey, I gave $2 million to help the homeless, right?
Mhm.
What they don't understand is that in order to get that help, you put people in charge, and those people that's in charge, they make you jump through fire hoops. You have to stand on one hand, you have to spin around, all that. Most people who need help don't get help from the places that's supposed to give you help.
Nope.
They never do. I mean, you the story about the woman who lost her children. She reached out many a times to try to get some help. Nobody would help her. I had a situation myself where I was reaching out for help. No one would help me. They will. Now, here's the thing, too. You have to suffer a extreme loss in order to get help. That's the only time people will help you. All the work that you do to prevent the loss, they'll skim. Just don't care. I swear when I say
Until
they
it
don't
happens.
care, they
And
just
it's
don't care.
and it's so weird. And I feel like that's like another thing with the whole like reality versus fiction, because a lot of times in those, it's always when it's too late. That's when help arrives, and it's like, what do y'all do that? Can we stop doing that? Can I can I stop waiting for Superman, please? You
Well,
know,
yeah.
most of my family's gone. Now he shows up like, oh, thanks, Clark.
Hmm.
Thanks. I don't need you anymore. Leave.
Yeah, but it's just that's the reality of it, and you be asking for help, asking, and I tell you, when I had my crisis, I called over 300 different agencies to get help, and it's like, okay, some of the ones that said, okay, look, we don't have the funding, we would love to help you and all that. Okay, I
Just
get that's
bad time for us.
right. But the ones who were rude to me, or the ones who I'm crying and they just like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Anywho,
yeah, and would rush me off the phone and being rude and all that. And I was like, wow, why kick a person while they down? I don't, but hey, like, if it's not happening to them, who cares?
sweep it under the rug.
All right, so,
And then I never understand those people who have the mentality of, well, if we help you, we gotta help everyone. That's what you signed up for. You're the rescue heroes. What do you mean by that logic?
uh-uh.
Imagine if like other heroes function like that. Like, man, I can only help Lois Lane. Like Batman, help! They're robbing me. Look, buddy, it's been a long week. Think about me, okay? I, the rich, am suffering.
Okay, so do you feel like cooking is a forgotten art?
What do you mean?
Like, out of I would have to say, now you know how to cook. All your siblings know how to cook. I've taught all y'all how to cook. But what I noticed though, and a lot of the your sister don't do too much dating, but in the women that my sons have dated, the going trend is they don't know how to cook. And I was just like, okay, I don't know. Is that like a forgotten art? Do they no longer are young people no longer investing? Does everybody just constantly go out and eat? Or is it one of those things where it's like, well, not as like they get out on their own and it becomes necessary, then they just go head on and start. But I
Yeah.
notice like, every time your brother or yeah, your brothers, when they've brought home a girl for me to meet, a young lady, they don't know how to cook.
Mhm. Yeah. And I'll say that's probably due to like delivery services or I mean, there's a ton of different places where you can sign up to get snacks, food. No judgment to them. Like Factor, I hear that's pretty good. I never tried it though because I know how to make my own
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, speaking of which, there was this other podcast I remember I saw. I don't know the name of it, but I know once I described it, somebody be like, "Oh, I know what that is." Shout out to that. That was so funny, and pretty much it was a whole bunch of females and like one dude or two dudes, and all the females were talking about most guys ain't nothing, those that
I
that
hate
kind of group.
that. The male bashing. I
Yeah,
hate
it was the
that.
male bashing, and they was like, yeah, and I was like, nah, you got to be able to do this, do that, all this stuff. So then the dude was like, hey, okay, real quick, if you guys are hoping, you guys are asking for like, what did he even call them? Like, what's that? What's the stereotypical guy goes to work, comes home, honey, I'm home.
Providers.
Yeah, but like the really fictional kind. I don't know. But pretty much, yeah, if they're hoping for the guy to come in like Superman and do all this, have money and take care of them and all that stuff, he was like, well, let me ask you, are you going to take care of this guy after he comes home, cook him food or whatever? Actually, better yet, how many of you know how to cook?
Area
Okay.
silent.
How many of you have like a cookbook or like a recipe book or anything? Uh, he was like, all right, so how can you expect for these guys to be Mr. Perfect, whatever stereotypical dude you want when you're not even half of
Putting in the work.
and I was like, that is
Oh my god, I remember this is
crazy.
one story I remember that oh, what is that singer's name? Oh, no, I forgot his name. He's the one that one two
I forget who that is.
to see cause
it,
okay.
it's not Stevie Wonder.
No, oh heck
It's
no.
it's it's the other dude that
The
be.
tall guy. Okay. I don't remember the words and all that stuff, but anybody that's heard that song, you know who I'm talking about.
And I
So
started back at one.
yeah, and
Yeah.
started back at one. Okay, so y'all know who the singer is. I did a choppy, terrible version of his
Everybody
song, but
knows.
yeah, you get the gist of it. Okay, so he was saying how Brian McKnight. Look at that. I had a glitch, and then it was a fix. Okay, so Brian McKnight was saying that him and his wife had separated
Mm.
and they were going towards a divorce, and he was saying that his wife was complaining because he came home and she didn't want to get out of bed and make him a sandwich, and I was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, oh my god. Now and of course I'm quite sure it could be a lot more things that happened in a relationship
Yeah.
that probably broke it down, but if I was married to Brian McKnight and he's out there touring and making money and all this other stuff, and I'm living in this, I know it had to be a big old
Really
mansion,
nice place.
had to be a great house, and all this other stuff. Boo boo, the last thing you got to worry about is coming home to nothing to eat. I'm telling you, that's the last of your worries. You're not gonna come home and I don't have to work, and he's making it possible, and I'm shopping and I'm doing all free to do all the stuff I want to do. You're not gonna come home and not have a meal available to you.
The
You
funny part when you said that, I'm like, it's not even anything complex. It's just a sandwich.
Yeah, when he said that, I mean, my heart just broke for him. Like, wow, really? And then too, I know you can't help who you love and all that kind of stuff, but it's like, yeah, I'd be done too. Like, you're a provider. You're
Act for
taking
the bare
care.
minimum.
Yeah, and then if you just only asking for not a lot, I don't understand what the problem is. But
It's not like I'm asking you to cook for Gordon Ramsay.
well, I'm telling you, if I was married to Brian McKnight and I'm living in a lap of luxury, yeah, boo boo, you're gonna have a hot meal. Wait, what time you gonna be here, babe? You know what? I got all your favorites sitting
What are
here
you
ready
looking
to
for
go.
today?
Exactly. I'll be your short order cook, boo boo. I got you. Or what's the worst? Hire somebody that will cook. You know?
Yeah.
Jeez, what's the problem? Yeah, but oh, hard workers. Do you feel valued?
No. I'll answer that question for every single one of them. No.
I know every job I have an excellent. And anybody want to try to say different, we will scrap to the ground. I have an excellent, I have an extraordinary, I have an exceptional work ethic. You tell me to do something, that's it. It's done. You ain't gotta go. I know some of my employers. I've seen it where they be, where's so and so, and chasing them down and looking for them and trying to get them to do their job and all this other. No, me. You tell me to do something. It's done. Done. It's a done wrap. I'm not.
Consider it already done.
It's already right. So I just never been valued at any job that I've ever worked. I've never, I mean, they'll tell me in the beginning, yes.
Oh my
In the
God, you're so
beginning,
yeah.
yes.
And then once
I
they get
get
used to
the
you.
love. And then it's okay, I see that she's going to be this way all the time. So not only do they not show the appreciation, but they try to pile extra stuff on people who's not completing their work. They want me to do their
Their
job,
stuff too.
right? My job and some of theirs too. And I'm like, no.
That's how it was.
And yeah, and then turn around and try to give me attitude because I'm
not
not
keeping up with the
I'm
extra.
not gonna do all the extra. And it's like, no. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
That's how it was when I worked at
Yeah. No names.
Why not? It's been a long time.
No names.
I'm not gonna say anyone's name particularly.
The way you worked, and what was the field? What was the field?
Dishwashing. Don't even
You worked for a restaurant.
call it much of a restaurant, but sure, we'll go with that.
Hey,
So
right.
anywho,
Yes.
so while working at unnamed restaurant, because we don't want to hurt nobody's feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, say it. You want to say it? Say it.
So while working there, I had to clean a whole bunch of dishes or whatever, and it was a lot of them because it's a restaurant setting. And while there, it took me a second to pick up on how to do it, but I had this big old machine that cleaned most of the dishes for me. If it missed a spot, I just spray it off real quick. No biggie. And after a minute, and also get my first cut there. After a minute, I managed to, exceed expectations, and on top of that, I know it was like the servers' jobs to like organize the silverware, but I had time, and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna just organize the silverware for them because I did like some of the servers, and it was one I, you know, enjoyed hanging out with. Didn't go anywhere. Oh well, but yeah. So I organized the silverware for them, and at some point, my boss was like, "Hey, you take out the trash? I got time." So I did that. Easy. Come back, spray off some more stuff. Hey, could you mop the freezers? Okay, this seems like a lot for just dishwashing. This this seems more like janitor. I didn't sign up for janitor. What's with this janitor work? Yeah, but like as a dishwasher, you also have. I don't see any other dishwashers doing all this. What are you talking about? But it's like whatever. I ain't complaining about it at that moment. But man, looking back on it, Felt like I was getting scammed, and then my paycheck didn't change. That's the weird part about it. It's like, yeah, they say they appreciate you, but
Oh
where's
no,
the?
you know,
Cause
oh no, money? No,
no,
no.
no. I'm gonna keep it fair. Cause if I go to any exotic club and see an exotic dancer putting in a lot of work and they're appreciated, guess what? Their paycheck increases.
Oh
So
my God, really? Did you just say?
I feel like if
No.
I'm putting in blood, sweat, and tears, and I'm doing
Ah,
extra moving, my
no,
paycheck should increase. I'm just saying that just seems logically.
no, that's not how that works.
It,
The first thing they want to be like is, "Well, you signed up for this." Be like, no,
no, I
actually,
didn't.
I didn't. Right? You didn't disclose all of this.
It's not my
Nobody
fault.
ever gives you the full disclosure, and that's one of the things when you work a job. They don't want to tell you the full description of the job. They don't want to tell you how much money you're gonna make. They don't want to. It's so much secrecy to it, and then it's rude of you if you want to know all the in and outs. Like, what? You trying to trick this up on me, and it's rude if I want to know, or it's considered yeah, like not it's not yeah, it's
It's
considered
not
like rude. It's
proper.
not yeah, it's not proper if you want to know all the ins and outs and all that other kind of stuff. And it's like, that's
It's,
crazy how that works.
that's like if you in a relationship and you just what do you like to do for fun? It's a little personal, don't you think?
Yeah, that's how jobs be trying to play you too. Like every
How much am
question.
I making? Like, what am I doing specifically? Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
And that's crazy too when they don't want you to ask about the money. Like
What do
that's
you think I'm
the
here for?
that's the main part of getting a job. You want to know what you're gonna be working with, because and then it's like if if you get the job and then they be like, oh well, you're only gonna make $10 an hour. What? I can make more than that, right? Oh, that's terrible. You just walk away from.
Yes.
Don't play with me.
Especially if another establishment is paying more. Like, let me like at any point work somewhere, and I'm like, man, the hours are long, the pay's not that good, and is that McDonald's?
Yeah,
How much y'all
no.
paying? 20 an
Mm,
hour.
yep. It's like come on, quit playing. And another thing with when you be trying to get work and all that stuff, like if you're trying to get a job, I've seen people they be like, oh well, they're overqualified for this job because I used to be
How's
involved in
that a
a
thing?
yeah, I used to be involved in a hiring process, and people will get eliminated for being overqualified because they'll say, "Oh, well, if they get this job and they're overqualified, they're not gonna stay." I be
What?
like,
That's exactly why they would. What? You know that.
"How about you gave me a job when nobody else would? So hey, Or how about here's another one that I cannot stand: the if you go to school to learn about to get the education to get the job, they'd be like, okay, you had an education but you don't have the experience. Okay, so then you don't go to school, you get the experience to get the job. Then they'd be like, well, you got the experience but you ain't got the education. So you'd be like, okay, I'm really getting a little tired of
You need
this.
education to get a job, but you need work experience to go to school. But if you don't have
No,
both,
no, no, no. It's not that. Not to go to school. No, no, no. School will take you no matter what. No, school will take you. They
oh,
will take you.
college person.
College will take you. But no, I'm saying to get the
Oh,
job,
uh,
they want you to they want you to have both. They want you to have the education and they also want you to have the experience. But here's the thing: how do I get the experience? They want you to have years of experience. Let's just say it was a job that I filled out an app for. And they'll say, okay, we want you to have a bachelor's degree, but we also want you to have 8 years experience. And here I am just fresh out of college with my bachelor's degree. How do I get to 8 years?
my thing is, I remember the first time I was going for a job, and they was like, "Oh, you need at least 4 years of experience." But prior, I already filled out. Is this your first job? Yes. So like, It wasn't even nothing major. It's not like I'm trying to work at NASA. It's just another fast food place. Like, so why do I? That's so weird. Like, imagine if everything functioned like that, right? You go to take a driver's test. Do you have driving experience? No. What do you think I'm here for? Oh, I'm sorry, you can't.
Yeah, it's one of those catch-22s where it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, and it's an old school practice that they just continue with it. And I'm like,
It
why?
doesn't. That
Everybody agrees that it makes no sense,
it's
but yet still
foolish.
they keep on doing it.
You know what? They need to start instead of that. You know what? If y'all not gonna take that away, might as well just put on everything at this point. Imagine that you buy a video game system, you get a brand new game, go in. Have you ever played this game before? No, I just got it. Click. Thank you for playing. That's it. That's all you get to do. And if you try to go back in and be like, no, I have. No, we already read your file. You say you haven't. And they be like, oh, if you have, then go and load your save. I don't have a save. You don't have a save, so you never played this before. Thank you for playing. Like that.
Your gamer analogies, I swear to God, I feel like I need to study just to understand. Like,
Because
I
that's
so
exactly how jobs are. Just have you had work experience? No, it's my first job. Well, oh well.
oh
Okay,
yeah,
well I do have
trust me.
experience. Where? Uh, bye.
Yeah. So I feel like they should just, and then if you do an internship, it's still even with the internship, it's like you get a hard time getting those. I don't understand why they make it so hard in order. You got plenty of people that will work. They will work themselves to the bone for you. I am one of those type of people. I will work myself to death for a job. But yeah, still jobs make it so hard for you to get in
Even
there.
get a job.
Yeah,
It's a
and it's like,
job to get a job.
yeah, and when they be, oh, we trying to get these people, nobody wants. No, people are applying. You're turning those people down.
Mm.
I don't want to hear it. And you are turning people away because I know for a fact there's a lot of people out here that's trying to do something that has the education, but they working at a fast food restaurant
Mm.
because they don't have the experience and people won't accept them. And it's
Yeah,
like,
and
stop it.
it's so weird. I don't understand that. Like, why are you looking for experience when, in all honesty, what you need to look for is their intelligence or their knowledge on the subject.
I would take somebody who was a hard worker with an exceptional work ethic over anybody else. I would rather train somebody that would be like, maybe if I found somebody that, maybe they didn't check all the boxes. But I tell you, you get a person that's got a good work ethic track record, look on their record and see somebody that never misses a day at work, or they come into work every day on time and all that kind of stuff. I would take somebody like that, train them to do the job, and then just be like, hey, I'm good.
Yeah.
You let me get a business, and that's what I would do. I just start picking people. I look at their track record and all that kind of stuff. Forget all the rest. Because every job that you go on, you got to be trained anyway. Nobody comes to the job and it's automatic like, hey, you got to show them how your system works and all that other stuff. Yes, they do. It's good to have an understanding of what the gendra is. Am I saying
Agenda.
that right? Gendra of the job,
What, what's
category of the job.
Oh,
Ginger is like music. I don't know if that applies, but even if I said it right, but it's good to have an idea of the category. Yes, that is true. But yeah, I think I would definitely would want to get somebody with a great track record that shows me that they are a hard worker and all that kind of stuff, and then just put them in the spot. That way, not only when you show a hard worker some love, you
oh,
would be shocked at what you get back.
oh yeah. Especially those who are like willing to learn. Oh my days. I enjoy those people
Exactly.
because it's one thing to have someone who knows what you're talking about, but if they're not willing to learn or work with you, then what use are they? But if you have someone who, well, I don't know anything about this, but I can learn, and that's the kind of person I am because I don't know nothing about cars, but worked at a place where you build cars, and I'm drilling up the car, fixing this. I know about car parts, kind of,
Yeah. Well,
but
and then I'm always open to learn anything new. I enjoy it. I
mm,
enjoy new concepts. My eyes being open to new technologies, to anything new. I get so immersed into it. I love learning. Period. Just anything. I love
mm,
it. And it's, it ignites your soul. I'd say.
and
Yeah,
me,
definitely.
I will say I grew up having like a very competitive kind of mindset, not destructive competitive, but kind of like I like to keep up with people and even try to, yeah, I'm now one of the better people. Less of I'm better than you, but I'm the best of me. Uh, but that's always a fun thing to always compete with yourself, try to be the better you than you were yesterday.
Hmm.
But one of the things I enjoy doing, like, because I don't really work out that much, probably could start doing that. But whenever I do have jobs like the uh, fixing up and helping people create cars or working at a fast food place, bringing back plates and everything, I enjoyed the progress of me first being like, oh, these are heavy, or this is a heavy machine, this, that, and the other. And then after some time, I'm like, this is light work. Man, what is this? Lifting up a whole stack of plates like it's just a thing of deodorant. Like, man, it ain't nothing. Which I had that at one point, and I was really happy with it. So
Hmm.
it is quite nice. You know what? Now that I think about it, another job where I was even saying I'd be kind of fearful of myself to have it is like being any kind of like fighter or like a boxer. I don't think I could do
I'm
it.
too aggressive for that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I couldn't do
Okay.
that
Mm-mm.
because
The bell ring, I wouldn't hear nothing.
just see
You
red.
hit me. Right.
And then on top of that, from the few small scuffles or fights I've been in beforehand as a kid, I get into a scuffle, be upset, and now me, whole different person. There was one time this kid, like, I think he hit me because I bumped into him in the hallway or whatever. And the crazy part is, I didn't even feel his punch. It was just the fact that he touched me, and I was
Mm-mm.
angered. So if it's ever a moment where and then it's me stronger now, got a lot more better perception, faster, smarter, able to punch harder,
Hmm.
and somebody hits me, especially if my family, friends, all that cheer me on, you are not gonna embarrass me in front of my people. So no, I'm immediate. Just hey, he's down. Stop. Ooh, you lucky man.
Nope. I can't do that type of stuff. I'm too aggressive.
Hmm.
I'm very competitive though. I am
Way too
very
competitive.
competitive. And then I always like to be the best in whatever.
Hmm.
If I'm attempting to do something, if I'm in class, I want to be one of the top, performers in
Just
class. I want to be the
outshine.
Yeah, I want to be the one who's constantly shining. Everything I do, I always want to shine. So it's like, yeah, And then if I'm doing my best, because I've had some stuff where I've done my best and it don't be good enough. Here's something that kills me too with management, right?
Hmm.
Where I currently work, you be doing your best and all that other kind of stuff. So instead of them lifting you up, they try to tear you down, thinking it's gonna make you work even harder. And I'll be like, "Who are you again? I'm not trying to impress you. No." I'll be like, "Okay, well, you say I ain't nothing. Guess what I'm gonna be?
No.
Nothing." And then it's funny because when it backfires, because I'll be like, well, you know what? Then I'm no longer going to do this part. They be like, why? Because it throws them off. They be
You said
expecting me
I'm
to,
not doing a good
right?
enough
You say
job,
I'm
so
terrible,
whatever.
and all that, right? So I'm gonna just let somebody else do that. And they be like, yeah, see, that wasn't what you was expected. Be like, I don't know who wrote that in the playbook, but take that one out.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Because
work.
that's such an old thing. I used to work on younger me because I love
Reverse
to.
psychology.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love to prove people wrong, but nowadays I'm right. So if somebody, oh no, Devin, you bad at this. Well, guess I'm bad at it. Anywho, and I'll probably keep doing whatever I want to do because you know, I ain't gotta listen. But yeah, for the most part, that's not gonna inspire me or
No, it
anything.
doesn't inspire me to
No.
to pull it in harder. It just makes me feel like,
Mm,
okay.
well, you're not my audience. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just be like, okay, and yeah, reverse psychology. I'm terrible for that. I'm terrible if you try to intimidate me. I'm terrible if you try to victimize me. I'm the worst. I'm the worst victim on the planet.
Especially if you try to like self portray onto me, man.
Oh
I'm gonna laugh. I
man.
will laugh in your face.
Project when people
Self project,
project, yeah.
man. There'd be so many times. Like I remember this used to be a thing whenever my friends would get upset with me, they start calling me certain things that I'm like, no, that's you. You're the narcissist that's and then they be saying, you're the one whose dad ran away from home and da da this. Whoa, hey man, what you got something you want to tell me? We were
Yeah.
just it was just basketball. Calm down.
Mm, yeah. I you know, you I don't know. We talked about that before though. When you have your the wolves in the sheep's clothing trying to be
Yeah.
close to you and all that other kind of stuff. So it's like, yeah. But it's important to find them and release them back out into the wild. Just let them go. Distance yourself. Always distance yourself from bad things, bad people, anything. If it's not positive, don't keep yourself in that place because nobody deserves any type of bad treatment or anything. Nothing. Nobody deserves that. I don't care what people say. If you got somebody that's like, oh, well, in the past you did that. Okay. Well, you know what that was?
The past.
In the past. Exactly. And if somebody constantly, on you and
Bringing up
insulting
bad
you
stuff.
and bringing up your bad stuff and all that, who needs that? You know what happened. You don't need somebody to keep bringing it back up to you
All
to
right,
remind
let's
you.
go back over this one more time. Start up the
Yeah,
rail.
yeah, people beat themselves up enough. You don't need extra people piling on. So you know what? I give you permission to release that person. Just be like, let them go, let them go back
If
into
you
the
truly
wild.
love them.
Yes, love yourself, love yourself. If won't nobody else love yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with that either.
Mm-hmm.
You know. You out here and be like, oh, I'm looking for somebody. Take yourself. I am excellent at taking myself out. I will take myself out to eat. I'll take myself out to shop. I'll take myself to the movies. I'll take myself. I'm my best date.
Mm-hmm.
I have a great time. And you know what? When you're having that great time, your inner self starts beaming and shining. And you know who can see that? Everybody.
Yeah.
And then everybody wants to be around that, and they start wanting to be around you, and then next thing you know, you go from nobody to a whole bunch of bodies, and everywhere you go, people just, hey, how you doing? That and that. You just be like, okay, like, is it the outfit? Is it the no? It's you.
Mm-hmm.
You're drawing the people in. So yeah,
Yeah. A
don't
lot of confidence that go with it and everything.
yeah. And if you don't have the confidence, fake it until you make it. I've done that. Oh my God. In the beginning of my discover my diva-ness, I would fake it. I would fake it. I didn't have all the confidence that people would meet me And I came across so confident, so bold, so good. I ain't had none of that in reality. I'd be saying stuff and looking at the person like, "Are you buying this?" As I'm saying it, like, you know, like,
Terrible.
is this getting over? Am I pulling this off? Yeah. So no, fake it until you make it. Just always, my drag queens say, sell the garment, darling, sell the garment. Shoot, make them put it out there, and if you put it out there and make it seem like it's believable, other people will start buying into it. I mean, people love to buy into stuff anyway. Apparently, look at TV. I say it all the time. TV. So yeah.
Well, yeah, as long as it's not hurt no one, that whole thing.
Yeah. Don't.
Because
Yeah. No.
the only people where it's like they might just, okay, I guess I'll pretend to be rich. Don't do that. You're gonna hurt yourself. But anywho,
You got people that do that too. It was a movie about a girl who pretended to be rich, and they scam. It's a lot of movies, they get and scam people and all that. And I mean, scammers. Shoo. Oh my God, scammers.
I personally find them to be,
Entertaining.
yeah, like for me personally. And then I remember this. It was so funny. Me and all my friends were hanging out at one point, and one of them got a scam likely call, and he was like, "What are you guys all doing? Not much, just chilling. Y'all want to mess with these scammers?" Sure. So he gives us the number, and we all calling, going back and forth and everything. And me being the goofy person I'm over here doing impressions and everything. And they're like, so no, see, this is about some insurance you can get in like Canada or something. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. What are we talking about? Like, man, I
Mm-mm.
we just be messing with them the whole time.
Yeah, well, scammers. I swear, I know this is not exclusive because everybody gets scammers trying to scam them and get into your different
We
medias.
like to
And
talk to you about your car's extended warranty.
man, it's so much where it's just like, oh my God. And it's just, I used to be irritated by it, but now it's like entertainment. It's like, who's coming to try to scare me today? Who do we have, Bob? Yeah, so it's just like, and the stuff that they be saying is ridiculous. And then the ones where it's not successful, when they get mad and send you messages like the heck with you and F you and all this other, like, really, I just had one yesterday. Well, no, he sent that message today. Same thing. Tried to do the romance that scam.
Scam.
Yeah. Oh, you're so beautiful and this and coming on way too strong. Way too
You're
strong.
my light, my princess, my
And just
golden axe.
everything.
Whoa.
Yes. And
Whoa, Romeo, back up.
he was just blowing me up. And I'm just like, okay. And he's in West Africa. And I said, well, how often have you come to Michigan? I've never been to the States. But if things work out between us, maybe, okay, yeah.
I'll do
So,
long distance.
yes. Not only long distance, but out of country. Like, seriously?
And
Come
how is
on
that
now.
supposed to work?
Come
That's a
on.
little too expensive.
And then too, it's like, dog, where have you been? Everybody knows about this scam. Are you new to scamming? Like, you should try something different.
I could try this.
Yeah,
Might
it's
work
like you
out.
should try something different. I don't know if there's any women still to this day going for the romance scam. I mean, I don't know why you would, or if you've never heard of, I don't know how that's even possible. I mean, it's like toilet paper. Everybody's heard of toilet paper. At this point, everybody should know about scammers. And it's like, dude, you behind the times. You need to get with the new scams. They got new scams out. Yeah, but too funny. Like,
That's hilarious.
Lord have mercy. Yes, but I don't understand what's the whole point and purpose. I know in the beginning it was successful. I get that, but to this day to still be somebody I'll never meet.
That's all they know.
You know how hard it is for the people I know? My children. I remember one guy was asking me for money, and my children was like, how he gonna get something we can't even get? And I know them. I've known them every minute of their life. And it's hard for my kids to get money. So some person I've never seen, never met, never will meet, and you think I'm going to send you money. Like, I don't know. But yes, if anybody out there is still falling for these scams, I'm telling you. Oh, and one of my other favorites was when Trey Songz.
Oh, that's a classic.
That was beautiful. I was showing everybody like, hey, Trey Songz is texting me on one of the websites called Tagged.
Mhm.
It's like a dating site. And Tagged is like one of the ones that's still free. So, I don't see Trey Songz if he was looking for the love of his life. Why would he be on a free site anyway? I would think if they was on anything, they would be on the pay sites. Although I've heard of a few celebrities that's been on like Tinder or Bumble and stuff like that. But yeah, even that, you can originally sign up for free, but then to get the premium service, you got to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm showing everybody at the job, like Trey Songz is texting me, Trey. And I was like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, I don't know how long this is gonna last, but I'm sure he's gonna need some money after a while. Yes, but scammers, if y'all asking me for money, you do better with sending me some money first. Then maybe I might buy into your BS. But no, just asking for money. No, I'm never gonna be like, okay. That'd be like if I go to a car and the guy says to me, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good. And he says, I'd like to take you to an empty field and I'd like to take your body and disassemble it, yes. And I am going to then probably take some of those parts to my home and put them in my freezer and visit them every few months. And I just be looking at them and be like, okay, right.
I see nothing wrong with this.
Right. It's like, stop it.
It's so wild. Yeah, that's crazy. Me though, I haven't really had a lot of those. Well, I have had a lot of like scammers or whatever. You know what? There's one thing I'm curious about. Okay, so I know a lot of females, or at least the ones that I've known, they get a lot of weird guys, and not fun weird. No, 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 no. I mean weird. Clutch your purse in your chest. Weird. The kind of weird when you say hi to them, and already you get an inappropriate photo on your phone. Like, I didn't even say anything yet.
Oh, no. Those inappropriate pictures come. You don't even say hi.
You barely even say anything.
You don't say nothing. You just the picture shows up. That's the first contact. They send that picture, and I just be like, ew, what? And it's 2025. Why are you still saying? When I say outdated, like, are you serious? Like, what is that about? Now, what I can say, what confused me a couple of times was not only did I get male parts, but I got some female parts. I was like, huh. I mean, when you don't ask and people saying, I don't, what is the, and my thing is, if I got it without saying anything, then how many other people got it?
Like everyone knows you.
And it's like, okay, so if I did take you to be my significant other, not everybody know what I got because you've given it out you've shown the picture to.
Santa gave me a present. You ain't special. Santa gave everyone a present.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay. And like, I'm curious if any guys have like, because I already know there's tons of stories. I'm curious if any guys ever had, a situation like that. 'Cause I had one time. I was like going around. I forgot even where I met the lady, and all I know is I said hi. She said hi. I got her name. She got my name, and immediately I got a FaceTime call, and I was like, "Well, this is moving very fast, but." In for a penny. Let's see where this goes. I'm curious. When they say curiosity kills the cat, I should have listened to that because when I opened up the message, let's just say I was clothed.
She was.
Not even close. And honestly, I was so disturbed. Like, I don't even know if I like you yet. What is this?
Yeah.
I was, and the whole time, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I was correct or not, but I'm pretty sure she was like Muslim or whatever. Why am I seeing all of you at once? What?
Mm-mm.
That doesn't even make sense at all.
Yeah, I've had that. Somebody, oh, I want to FaceTime you. And you open it up and they're doing something very inappropriate. And I just be like,
Like it was Christmas. My
oh.
grandma's here.
But then, you know what? Your brother says it all the time that apparently it worked
At least
with
once.
at least once. And that's why that behavior continues. Because if they would have been shut down every time they do it, then they wouldn't continue
Try
with it.
something different.
Yeah.
But
Or they're very comfortable with doing something, then yes, it's worked for them.
yeah, that or there's probably a book out there. You're talking about, all right, gentlemen, if you want to get the ladies, it's very simple. Take a
Mm-mm.
few little snapshots of your now, get some good lighting, and send it off. I tell you, I got like 18 million chicks. Really? Yeah, go ahead, buy my book. You'll see everything you need. Then the guys buy the book. This guy's rich because you fall for a scam, and now you're over here sending out your Pee Wee Sherman to everyone.
Mm-mm.
So wild, so odd.
I'll consider that so. Pee Wee Sherman. Sending out your Pee Wee Sherman. I like that one. That was cute.
So it's
Yeah, so.
man.
Did I ask you what your favorite foods are?
Yeah, I already said like Mediterranean.
Mediterranean, all that. You didn't throw in pizza?
I mean, pizza's cool. It's not one of my favorites, but it's definitely a well liked. Same like other Italian dishes. Um, what's another food where I'm like, oh yeah, that's just like I can always go for a good sandwich, good burger.
Oh, burgers? Yeah. Pizza for me. Lasagna. Spaghetti. Yeah. Okay, so let's just say Italian food,
Mm-hmm.
Mediterranean food, Arabic food, soul food, of course, baby. Oh, and
Unless
then
I'm making it myself.
yeah, I make soul food myself. I'm good at Italian food. I'm just good at food. Period.
Mm-hmm.
I need some recipes for the Mediterranean Arabic food because
Man, what's
I'm
all
tired
that?
of giving them my money. Like, stuff ain't cheap, but it be. I mean, you spend $45 for a plate, but you eating for the next 2-3 days.
They really do pile on the food. So
Yes, yes. But oh yeah, makes me want some now. I want some. I want some. Shawut to
to
whoop
work,
to whoop shawut. Is it shawut to whoop
I
or
don't
is it
know.
to whoop shawut?
I don't know.
To what should what that sounds kind of right. It's okay. You if you know it, with the lemon and oregano. Oh, I want some of that right now. Just talking about it, like, oh yeah. But yeah.
Oh
Oh,
man.
I love it. And then of course, oh, excuse me. Of course. Oh, I wanted to talk about
Mm-hmm.
when you're diabetic. Um, when you're diabetic, my way into diabetes is I am a sugar addict. And sugar addicts, people, I don't think anybody really states it, like put it out there, that
Mm-hmm.
it's actually a real thing.
Oh, sugar addiction.
Yeah.
I saw like at least one person so far talking about it, and yeah, because it's.
Well, they say sugar is just as addictive as cocaine.
I mean, come on, it's the same color. What,
No,
what do you think was gonna happen?
and I can believe that because it is insane. Like trying to get away from sugar when, and it's like, I got the diabetes, and it's like I try to stay away from sugar, but it's impossible for me to do it. And it's like I be trying to figure out ways to uh stop my, because you get extreme sugar cravings and stuff of that nature. I'm trying to figure out how to stop that, how to work around it, all this other kind of stuff. And I have recipes that I put out that's, diabetic friendly, that's good for not shooting up your sugar and stuff like that. And even though I use that stuff myself, it still be a time where I just be like, let me just, what's one burger? One burger won't hurt, but it does. It's
I need to so research YouTube
like,
that one because I'm
it's
so unsure what can and can't be said.
insane. Yes. And it's like, anybody else out there struggle, because now when I was diagnosed with diabetes, I got my prescription and that was it. The dude didn't tell me nothing, no instruction,
No kind of information.
nothing at all. I've done all my research, and my knowledge comes from online training, self training, and I read different stuff online and I research and all that kind of stuff. But and then I did have one doctor
Mhm.
where she was like, nope. Even before I give you this medication, I want you to take a diabetes class. And I was like, dang, I can't even get my drugs without the class. She was like, absolutely. She's like, I'll give you a prescription for 10 days. And then after you take the class, you check back in, and then I'll give you I'm like, dang.
Treating you like a student with
Man,
a
well,
pet.
she said it was essential. And then, I think it is. I think everybody who has diabetes should take a diabetic class and get like a basic knowledge of what's going on with your body, because it be so much going on that you don't understand. You be like, why is this happening to me, and why? And even when you're on your best behavior, you can still have crazy things happen. And it's good to have that education so that way you can get a better understanding. You won't keep being like, why is this happening, why is it. And so I think it's good for everybody. And yeah, and if substance abuse is important,
Mhm.
why isn't sugar abuse? Because see, one thing with substance abuse, illegal drugs, they can be hard to get. They can be expensive. They can be something that you
Takes an
got.
arm and a leg to
Yeah, or you
obtain.
got to go in a dangerous area to
The
get it, or you
black
got to
market and all
all
types of
that. It's sugar.
easiest thing to obtain.
I can go up the street to the corner store and get all the sugar. Nobody will stop me.
No.
I can go into a grocery store and take every donut off the shelf. Nobody
Nobody.
will stop me.
And the crazy part is they sell so much to children that it's an addiction that starts early.
Yes, candy and
Yeah.
cereal and all the sugary stuff. And
And
it's
then
like,
as we was talking about people, funny enough, there was this one dude I was watching that was talking about it, and it's hilarious because it also pans into the whole dark humor thing. Because this man be over the that man is on the fine line of dark humor. Like some of his stuff be a little too much for YouTube. And this is dude, I find him funny, but a lot of people will be like, "Some nah, I can't watch this." And it makes sense because he literally has the channel name offending everyone. And I mean, if he does offend you, he did his job. But he even made a video talking about how it's addictive or whatever. He was even talking about one of the people, whoever's behind Prime Energy Drink. I think it was Jake Paul or something. I don't know. And he was like, whoever's behind Prime Energy Drink, they are literally like at this point giving practically illicit goods to children because that junk has like 3 to 5 times more sugar than any one can of soda.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Everything
it's not
has too
even
much
good.
sugar in it. Everything does.
Yeah, but
It's
that is
yeah,
like way more than Red Bull, way more than anything.
yeah. But everything I feels like, especially since now that I'm paying attention to labels and stuff now, because I didn't before. I would just get something if it didn't taste that sweet. And I'd be like, oh, because
It's probably
what
not.
is so funny to me is I became a diabetic and I don't even eat a lot of sweets. It's like not on a regular. I will binge eat sweets sometimes, but for the most part, I don't eat a lot. I didn't think I did.
No,
But what I found out is that corn,
rice,
potatoes, rice,
noodles.
noodles, and which I love. Oh my god. Certain gravies because of the way it's made,
They all break
either with
down
the
into sugar,
flour
don't
or
they?
yeah, flour or cornstarch, all that kind
That'll
of
do it.
stuff. Yeah, sauces. Most sauces have like cornstarch in it or flour. So that's and man, you know me. If you're not rubbing it from your elbows, your sandwich is not made right. So it's stuff like that. And I didn't find out until later, like,
I,
man,
yeah.
I would just say that I think that should be instead of a lot of other stuff that you learn in school. I think stuff like that should be in school. How to prevent diabetes, how to prevent hypertension, something like that in health.
Speaking of school, one of the dumbest things that I find about school is that they teach you a lot of things that's just unnecessary. A lot of things that's unnecessary. Sure, for some people, if it's your profession, cool. But certain things like, okay, in all honesty, in your day to day life, when has calculus, history, or some other random wild class ever helped you in your day to day life? Like when has fractions actually helped you?
Now
Now,
I
yeah,
cook.
if
Now
it's if
fractions.
it's cooking or something related to it, but whenever you have okay, sir, like you have like a game show host. All right, sir, seems like you're about to go ahead and marry this woman, but before you do, can you tell me the Pythagorean theorem? What? I'm sorry, sir. It seems you can't marry this woman today. Try again next week. Like,
Yeah, some of the stuff that's so-called basic education, and it's like it doesn't apply to anything you ever do for your whole entire life. Like you never ever bring it up ever again.
you know,
And I think it should be more of a some of those basic education classes should be more like once you get to college when you decide, well, I want to do
I
this or
want
I
to
want to do that.
business.
Or I
Let me
want to
learn about
yeah, I think that should be
stocks.
more. I think some of the stuff that's not in basic education should be added. You should take some of the stuff out and add it to college. And then some of the stuff you should add to basic education.
Hmm.
Like I think you should have since everybody is now technology, technology, technology. I think technology should start in pre-K.
Oh, of course. And then on top of that, one of the things that teachers will tell you without knowing how to show you is be yourself. How? So, like, that's something I had to discover myself on how to be myself. And a lot of times, from my experience, people kind of like they gain their personality from watching others and taking what they enjoy. It's like a buffet. You don't just pick up every single little thing and put on your plate. I like corn. That was a fun experience. I don't like that. I don't like that item though. You push certain things away, add other things to your arsenal. And that's how I feel like some people's personality. Now there are certain things where you don't even have to add it. It's just something that's ingrained within you. You'll know. You know, you'll know if you actually can swim or not, or if you have the knack for it. You'll know the second something enters your hand, you'll be like, this is something I want to do. You know, things that make you happy. Please don't let it be destructive. But yeah, that's something. That's a
Now,
class that needs to be taken. How to
yeah,
be yourself, And I think that class alone will help against things like bullying because those people don't understand fully how to be themselves, or they think this is the route they need to go in order to, be popular, make friends, or whatever. And I had to tell some lady this back when I was like in middle school or elementary, and she was trying to teach me how to be cool. Everything she was saying, I was like, that doesn't sound right. I don't like that. And I was like, no, I'll just find my own way to be cool. She was like, well, you're lame. And I was like, well, I guess I'll be that. And would you look
Adults
at
told
it?
you that when you was a kid?
No, another
Oh.
kid.
Oh, you said a lady, so I'm like, what? Okay.
Some girl. But yeah. So I've done forgot her name at this point. But overall, shoot, if she remembers that conversation, that'd be funny. But yeah, in all honesty, for me, the way I heard about being cool seemed very lame. Looking for everyone else's admiration and doing all this weird, stupid stuff rather than just being in your own circle, in your own lane, doing stuff that inspires you. Like me, I enjoy drawing. And as a result, I didn't even have to talk to anybody. Everybody, "Hey, what you doing? Oh, that looks pretty cool. What you drawing over there? Is that Goku? It's not, but good guess, I guess. And then, well, there you go.
So you think like something that would be good to teach young people is how to have confidence builder, something like
Yes.
that?
How to be confident. How to, you know, go chase after your dreams. How to, you have something you like, pursue that. Instead of, well, I'm not good at math. Oh, well, everyone else is learning it. No, instead of that, just, what do you like to do? Well, I want to be an astronaut. Bet you'll have to learn math. Let them know early.
So what? Okay, so you say like to teach confidence and all that kind of stuff. So what inspires you?
uh, in my own confidence,
Well, not just your confidence, but just in your daily life. What brings you inspiration?
honestly, I'll definitely say it is, and it ties into the things I enjoy. It's the people around me. I'll definitely say because even though I do inspire myself, because I like to compete with myself, be better than me, look back at the old things I've done, whether it be drawings or old videos, and go, that was funny. Then I can be better, and I'll turn towards my friends, my family, and be like, hey, look at what I've done. I'm gonna go do something else as well. And it's always a really nice thing for me personally to have someone in my corner that I can always express what I'm doing. Because I will say, everyone had some really low times, me included. But one of the things that got me out of that was me thinking to myself, okay, but if you do anything stupid, the people you love are gonna be upset. Oh, I don't want them to be upset. Uh huh. Do you really want to look those people in the eyes and tell them what you did? No. All right then. And then on top of that, I had curiosity. I was just always sitting there wondering, but what happens next? What comes in the year 2026? Gotta stick around for that.
Yeah, I find that I'm the person that everybody comes to talk to, but I can't find anybody to lay my burdens on. Everybody brings their
Same.
burdens to me. But I can't find anybody to bring my burdens to. And then when I try to talk to people, they'll be like, "You ever consider therapy?" So instead of talking to you,
You want me to pay for it?
right, you want me to pay for somebody? And then it's like, even with therapy though, do you ever graduate therapy?
That that was something I heard one time. I forgot where it was.
Papa, Tom Papa.
Tom Papa. Yeah, yeah. That man was so funny with it. He was like, "You ever realize there's not even there's never a last day of therapy. Nobody ever. Well, it's my last day of therapy. All
Yeah.
right."
It's
And I'm
like,
like, "Yo, that's so crazy."
yeah, it's just like, so you never graduate. It's never like a last day or whatever. I mean, you could decide to quit, but nobody ever just says, and I've never heard it, where it's a therapy graduation session or something
I'm
like that.
fully good now.
All right, I've never heard that. So it's like, okay, But it's like, I think for myself though, I just have to be that for myself.
Mm.
I've came to realize that I just got to be that sounding board for myself. And what I found, for me, because I tried to do therapy, but I guess the talking and all that kind of stuff is not what they do anymore. My therapist that I had the therapist for about 2 weeks, prescribed me a whole bunch of medication. And I do mean like I went and talked to the person for about 15 minutes, and then the next thing you know, it was all these pills they was prescribing. And I was like, wait, what is all this? And I don't believe in medical therapy. I don't. I'm not big on pills and all that type of deal anyway. I'm the type of person, if I get a headache, I'd rather lay down and sleep and try to make the headache go away that way. Or hit my pressure points, or try to, hydrate, or I try to do everything I can first before just dropping a pill.
Yeah, because that's me as well. Because there'd be times where like my head would get hot. I know I'd have a nosebleed. Don't know where that came from. And I'll just put ice on the back of my neck or lay down for a sec, lean my
Yeah.
head back.
I try to
All
do
these different remedies.
natural remedies first before I go to medication and stuff like that. And then so, and some of the medications alter your brain. And once your brain is altered, it's not like it goes back.
Back, no.
Yeah, you're altered forever. And it's like, on some of the stuff, okay, maybe if you're violent or whatever like that, okay, then yeah, maybe you might want your
Psychosis.
yeah, maybe you do want your brain altered. But I don't, pills that people take, because I've witnessed it. I've worked in pharmacy, and I've witnessed the mental destruction of a human from taking certain medications. And I do mean the mental destruction, like going from
Walking in yourself going,
walking in,
hey, my name's
yeah,
John. I'm here to pick up my medication, to someone having to walk you in.
and you drooling yourself.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
is not
I
fun.
definitely, I'm not going to do that route. So it's like, mm-mm. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of, and especially, if I'm not out harming or hurting anybody, can we do try the conversation first, And I thought that if I went to therapy, it was going to be, um, no, and I said it was a couple of weeks. I'm sorry, that was 2 days. I got 15 minutes. I got
48 hours is not enough to evaluate
It
nothing.
was a 2 day process. I went in and then I went through the intake, and that took about 10 minutes. And they assigned me to a therapist. And then I met with the therapist, and I thought I was going to be there for an hour, but I was sitting there talking to her. And 20 minutes in, she said, "Well, have you talked with the medical therapist yet?" And I was like, "No." um no, the medicine therapist. And I was like, "No." So she wrote something down on a piece of paper and sent me to the medicine therapist. I think I'm saying that right. It's been some years. And I went there, and then he talked to me for about another hot 15, 20, and then he was like, "Yeah, here's your prescriptions." And I was like,
40 minutes in and out.
yeah. Well, you know what? Between the three
Crazy.
people, I give it maybe an hour. I say the whole
So
process.
after one box of topics, they gave you prescription.
They gave me drugs, and I'm looking like,
Oh
what? And
man,
because I worked in pharmacy, one of them drugs was the one
that makes
that,
you a little.
yes, that has you like, and it's like, I, and then I don't want to be one of those. Have you taken? Well, you could be eligible for
Um,
compensation because these pills have. Oh no.
yeah, no, and the thing about that, it's the same thing when it comes to like smoking or any other like bad habits. For a lot of different people, and sure, there's a lot of good reasonings. Other people, not so good excuses. But people tend to look for escapes for any odd problems, whether it be really big problems like, hey, my whole family just combust, hand me a bottle, or really small problems like, hey, I have this test in the morning. Hand me the bottle. So it's like,
Yeah, the whole numbing factor. Let me drink to make it better.
it doesn't make the problem go away.
It
Now
doesn't.
you got two
It's
problems. You
right.
got that test in the morning, and you have a hangover.
Yeah, it's just adding to your problems. I don't understand where people be like, "Oh, well, if I just take this pill, it's going." No, it doesn't. It adds to the problems. It does. Ooh, but I try to stay away from stuff like that because I have my, like I said, I'm a sugar addict, a chocolate addict, potato chip addict,
I'm a
Fago
social
Red
holic.
Pop.
That's a
Those.
good soda.
Woo! I tell you, those are my go-tos.
I never even was a fan of strawberry until that.
You know what? Now here's a good one.
Hmm.
Here's a good one. What flavor is Fago Red Pop? Now, people try to say it's strawberry, and I've had strawberry pop. That's not it. What is Fago Red Pop? Because it's got to be a mixture of some stuff. And whatever it is, now I'm not complaining. It's excellent. Best thing in the world. If you are somewhere where you cannot get Fago Red Pop, I feel so bad for you. It is the most amazing thing ever. Same thing like the rock and rye. It's like, what's in it? It's just amazing. And you can't pin down the flavor.
Some really good chemicals.
Man, I'm telling you, when I say this, the best, the two best, the red pop and the rock and rye. And it's like, I don't even know what this is, but I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely undescribable. And whoever came up with the mix, where's their statue? I just want to know where is their
There you
statue
go. Out there, right next to Rocky
with
Balboa.
a big old bottle of red pop? Where is the people who've really contributed to America? Where is their statue? That's what I want to know. Because the person who came up with the flavor of rock and rye and red pop, I imagine in my mind it's the same person. So I think it's somewhere here in Detroit, there should be a statue of the person and holding up the two bottles of red pop and one rock and rye. Where is their statue? The person who came up with Hostess, where is their statue? Disney, Walt Disney got a statue. Where is the person who came up with Hostess? Where's their homage? I just want to know. Better made. Them chips. Where let, let's talk about these unsung heroes. Where is their statue? I want to know. Yeah, I mean, come on now. We got some good stuff out here, and for the people who can't get access to it, because I've been out of state where they don't have Better Made chips, Fago Pop. My daughter, when she moved to DC, I would send her the stuff by the box load. She'd be like, "Mom, can you please?" I got you. I got you. I would send her the stuff box after box after box. And for places where you don't get it, oh my God, now that they have online shopping where things can be shipped to you,
Internationally.
when I tell you, quit getting that stuff, them international snacks, all that kind of stuff. You know what? Try the Fago Pops and the Better Made chips, baby. It will change your life. It will change your life. Get the Better Made barbecue, the Better Made hot chips, the sour cream and onion. Ooh.
Not too big on sour cream and onion, but you do.
Oh no. The sour cream. If you like sour cream and onion chips, the Better Made sour cream and onion chips, I'm gonna say, is number one. Number one in my chip. And I told you I'm addicted to chips, so this is no surprise. Yeah, so don't be, oh, you diabetic, you did it. Yes, that's probably how I got here. Anyway, I got here on the chip bus. But yes, sour cream and onion Better Made chips, the best. I would say those are the best sour cream and onion chips on the planet, over everything, over everybody. The best. They barbecue so, oh, man, just I must be hungry.
Yeah,
I must be hungry. It
probably.
must probably about time to eat. Yeah, but yes. when we talk about some of my favorites, those are definitely on the list. Ooh. And that's why I hate, you should get all this information first so you can avoid things like diabetes, high blood pressure before you can't have it anymore. You have to be deprived because now it's bad for your health if you have it. So if you get some type of education, if they, you know, take calculus and trigonometry out of uh the schools. Well, no, that's high school. So let's start with elementary. When you teaching stuff in elementary, add that to health.
Hmm.
Because it
Definitely.
is essential to your health.
And I find it funny that like, did you know like we at the high school did not have like a sex ed class at all.
I think they took that out. I think that became a thing where they took sex ed out of the schools. I can probably look it up, and if I'm wrong, somebody you definitely. No, you're wrong. Okay,
And
just calm down.
like we had a health class, and that section was only just a guy throwing around frisbees, and he catch it, and you have to read what's on the frisbee. Here's the crazy part about that: I didn't want to read any of that stuff, right? Because like I'm 16, I wasn't thinking about it for real. It was a little uncomfortable, but at the same time, ooh, a frisbee,
Yeah,
ah, crap.
yeah, but yeah, it is. It's in health. It's in health. They incorporate it all into health.
And it's weird that like that's such a big topic. They'll be like, oh yeah, make sure you do this because if you don't wrap up and be safe, you'll die. But they won't if you don't calm down on chips or donuts or Twinkies, you'll die. They don't.
Yeah,
It's the same thing. Like you gotta be
yeah,
careful what you're putting in your body, or
exactly.
you'll die.
Yeah, that should be incorporated. That should be basic education. I think that's something people that's taught, your administration for
Everything in
education.
moderation.
Yeah, I think that's something that should be taught. And it's like basic stuff that I think every human should know. And when you're in school, it should be a lot of stuff about de-escalation of situations, conflict resolution, how
How
to
to
deal with
peacefully,
emotions and
you
all that
know,
type of stuff.
because it's like for some reason, one, they don't allow people to know the fact that you don't have to take pills or whatever. It's okay to cry. It's okay to have those because that's the natural remedies. You ever realize if you're upset, if you just take a minute, cry about it or talk about it, it's like this weight lifted off you, and you feel so much better. You didn't need to take ibuprofen.
You know what's a good one that I found out on the internet, and it's crazy. It's super simple,
Mhm.
right? If you're upset, anything, rub your earlobes. I know on what was it, Bad Boys, he was making a joke about it, but that is real. If you rub your earlobes and like massage your ears, go up and down your ears on the edge. You go up and down your ears. Just do it while I'm telling you about it. Try that for a few minutes. When I tell you, it definitely makes a big difference. It's
Oh
like an
yeah,
instant calming thing.
any kind of like I remember there was some lady who was like stressed or whatever, and some dude was like rubbing her temples. Oh,
Yes. But just that, just rubbing you just instantly calm. You don't even need anything. You ain't even got to pop a pill. You
no,
just instantly get calm from just that action, period. Or just like taking your thumb and rubbing it inside the palm of your hand. That right there is something that's stress relief. And then you take that and rub it down into your wrist. Right there. You feel that?
mm,
Yeah. And it's like just simple stuff like that. Don't even have to pop a pill.
mm,
You know? And it's like, it's
it's
simple stuff that can be taught where it can bring you, a peaceful mindset and all that. You
mm.
can have less. But I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, there are some things like you said, fiction versus reality. there's a lot of things that people will see and be like, oh, well, if he can do it, I can do it. But there are other things in fiction that, if it's like, if you believe all the random, crazy, please don't try this at home, then at least take some of the things that maybe like, maybe that might work. Like in one of the Avengers movies, whenever Hulk will be all angry and everything, and then Black Widow will come in and rub his hand and be like, hey, sun's going down, sun's getting real low. He'll calm down.
Hmm.
Try it. I swear. Because that's all you need. Just say, it's okay. It's going to be all right. There's no reason
Hmm.
to be upset. You know, and one thing I did, and this worked out really well, when my little brother was like a little toddler or whatever, he'd be upset or he hurt himself or something. He'd be crying. My main objective, right, if the natural, oh, hey, it's going to be okay, doesn't work and he starts crying harder, then instead, what I do is I call his name. It'd be around the time where he can understand English and understand his name. I'd be like, hey, 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 I call his name, get him to stop crying, because then he's, focused on me. He's focused on me talking to him. And I just start talking to him afterwards. And my main objective is to get him to laugh. Once he laughs, that's an understanding between me and him is you already laughed. You can't go back to crying. Like you already experienced that. And there was one time he even tried like, no, 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 don't you? Which will make him laugh more. Like, no, you already laughed. Don't you try that. You can't just go backwards. How could you? So that's definitely something that definitely, and I know it worked for me. I I don't remember it, but as a baby, I remember my mom was even telling me whenever I'd get upset, all she'd do was say my name, and I'd calm down because it's like, well, yes.
Oh, when y'all was babies and wouldn't stop crying, I used to rub y'all ears.
Hmm.
Oh, that boy! Next thing you know, you rubbing, rolling your eyes to the back, rub your ears and brush your baby's hair.
Hmm.
And I'm telling you, they had whatever they was crying about.
Man.
Especially if it's just you adjust them, you fix them, all that kind of stuff. Make sure they not wet, they not hungry, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you rub them ears, it's a wrap. Yeah,
I,
I could get the babies to stop crying in no time.
I will say three things about little babies. One, for everyone who don't understand their kid that well, especially the shopping cart parents that be having their kid in that.
Oh, we had talked about that.
Where they be having their kid in that little tight spot. Let me tell you, I've gotten up from this chair multiple times because I am now uncomfortable. I'm a
Mm-mm.
full grown adult, but if I was forced to sit there, oh, I'd start having a tantrum myself.
Man.
And I'm in a cushioned seat. This isn't even a hard chair or anything. It's not metal, nothing. So your child's human. They get uncomfortable too.
Oh my God. Now, speaking of something uncomfortable, and I don't think we talked about this, but it came to me. I don't understand. Well, I'm in the market to move,
Mhm.
and we stay in a house that has two full bathrooms. And at one point, it was like, how many people? 8 people living here. Okay. Now, and the way we did the house, it ended up being, I think, like 10 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Okay.
Mhm.
But what I don't understand is how I've been looking at these houses and it's like 4 bedrooms and 1 bath. I'm like, now, me personally, I don't know. I couldn't even see myself because I know we've done it in the past, but yeah, you always had the intrusions and all that other kind of stuff.
I'm
But
in here. I gotta
yeah,
wash my hands.
exactly. I think, and not no half bath either, but I think if it's more than one person in the house, I think the only way you can have one bathroom is if you live by yourself. If you add another, I don't even care if it's your husband, you need more than one bathroom. And when you get up in the numbers, it's like, are you serious? I think the more people you have, the more bathrooms you need.
Yeah,
Cause it's crazy. And no sooner you get in the shower,
it's going to go in there.
somebody is gonna come in there. They gotta either use the bathroom. They got
One,
oh,
two, something or the
uh,
other, talking on the phone.
yeah,
I mean,
yes,
so
yes.
yeah, and I will say, whenever you was like talking about it earlier, you was like, "Oh yeah, me and all my other brothers, we go to the restaurant, we just in there forever." Now, I don't know about anyone else, but for me, that's usually where the greatest ideas be coming from. That's why I learned how to deconstruct a black hole and reinverse it into pure energy. You know, that's where that happens. I can't think of that nowhere else. Second I sit down on the Oval Office, you know, that's when magic happens.
Yeah,
And
but that's one of the reasons why you need another bathroom.
you know, or
Y'all go in
shower
there.
thoughts.
Yes. Because I remember threatening y'all, like, you don't squeeze your cheeks and get up off that, I got to pay.
But I'm doing taxes.
Like, get out of there.
I almost figured out how to solve world hunger.
Yes. So you definitely, the more people you have, you need more bathrooms. I don't understand how they can make a house 6 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. Like,
Oh yeah, that's reality TV all day. They are looking for that simple. How long you gonna be in there? Just another minute.
I don't. There's no way possible. If you need like basically a 1-to-1 ratio almost. Like, hey, if it's 5 bedrooms, then I need 5 bathrooms in that house. Like,
And
it's I like back in the day, and like I said, it was like and when it was just the 3 of us, it was me and your 2 older brothers. It was just 1 bathroom. But then JV was a baby and Nate was a toddler. So, you know, it worked out.
bounced out.
Yeah. Then when by the time it was me and the 3 kids, then I stayed in a house where it had just 1 bathroom. And that one was like, okay. But you know, I had 2 kids on the potty. So it was like, okay, you know, all right. But
Now,
when we get like when we stayed in Inkster, we had a bath and a half. Now that worked out too. But it'd be a lot of times you be in there trying to shower and somebody be like, go to the other bathroom.
well, that's too far.
Yeah, they don't want to go that distance. It was like,
I
hey,
don't
too
want to
bad.
risk it.
Right. So it's like, okay. But yeah, the more I be like, I don't understand a whole bunch of people in one house and just, you know, the lack of bathrooms, like that ratio. With people building new houses, you need to increase the ratio of bathrooms.
Yeah.
'Cause
Whoa, why's my phone glitching?
what is that?
I have no idea. Should I just end this? I'm gonna go and do that. Oh my god, yeah, no. There's been lots of topics. Jesus
I guess
Christ.
the phone was like,
You know,
okay,
like this.
enough. All right,
It's-
everybody. Don't forget to
Oh.
like and subscribe. We got some technical issues going on.
Jesus Christ.
But
Is my
yeah.
phone okay?
Like, subscribe,
Ugh.
share.
Yeah, we'll be back later. Oh my god.
Ah.